Hi everyone, I'm Michael Uriarty, or Dr. Mike, and welcome to Technique Talk, the MYK System, and more. This is episode 25. We hit a milestone, episode 25 in our series of comparing and contrasting other techniques with the MYK system. Today, we're going to talk about zero balancing. If you want more information on either technique, I have the website links in the description below. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, be sure and hit that subscribe button. I have a lot more videos coming. Whether you're a patient looking to get help or a practitioner looking for a good technique to learn, this series is what you need. Let's dive in. So who came up with zero balancing? So I found Fritz Frederick Smith came up with it. Now, he was born in 1929. We're in 2025. So we are going back almost 100 years ago. This dude was born. And he was in Cleveland, Ohio, was where he was born. And he grew up in a family with science and health practice, and he was educated in the scientific community. For example, some 8 years before he was born, his father, Ernest Smith, initiated the first 4-year chiropractic training in the USA. Wow! All right, that's pretty cool. All right, so I don't know if Ernest was ahead of the Palmers, though. I'm pretty sure the Palmers were first, but we may have to look that up. 4 years. Oh, yeah, the Palmers were around since 1895. So maybe he was the first 4-year college. Maybe because I think the Palmers didn't necessarily do that long of an education prior to. So, all right, so we continue on. So in 55, Fritz graduated from the College of Osteopathic Physicians and Surgeons, becoming a doctor of osteopathy. And 6 years later, he went on to graduate from the California College of Medicine in 1961 as a medical doctor. So, wow, the guy's educated. That's number one. Comes from a long line of doctors and things like that. And so he got in and started working. Let me go over here. I found some information on him. He did a lot of study with Ida Rolf. And so here it was right here. It was, for a long time, he felt his medical understanding could not account for all the things he had experienced regarding the human body and healing. So he went in search of answers. And in the mid-60s, under the tutelage of Ida Rolf, he was one of the first medical doctors to be certified as a Rolfer. You know, Ida Rolf, she was one of the first ones that I did an episode on. It may have been the first one that I did was Ida Rolf. And so she influenced a lot of people. That woman was a genius, I got to tell you. She did a lot of good work, and she influenced a lot of good people. And so anyway, he got into that kind of stuff with osteopathy and medical doctor, and then Ida Rolf. And then it goes down here. He studied with Jack Schwartz, Brew Joy, which I've read those names before as well in some other talks that we did. So I've heard of these guys. So he studied Jin Shin-Do and Shiatsu and yoga and Tai Chi and Qigong, and I think he got into some acupuncture and different things. But anyway, so he went on down, and I just find this kind of cool. How he progressed into. But it says that during the process of integration, Dr. Smith came to recognize a specific area in a person where movement and structure are in juxtaposition, similar to the situation of a sailboat where the wind, the movement, and the sail, the structure, meet. Following the initial exploration of this interface, Dr. Smith formulated the structural acupressure system of zero balancing in 1973. to evaluate and balance the relationship between energy and structure in the body. Okay, that's kind of cool. And so it's like an acupressure system. All right, that's good. That's good to know. So let's go over here. Let's look at what are the benefits. Let's look at what are the benefits. So clients often report a variety of benefits, including feeling calmer and more energized, reduced stress levels, increased mental clarity, and connection with themselves, emotional stability, and a more positive outlook on life. Studies show that zero balancing can significantly reduce stress and may stimulate brainwave patterns associated with deep meditation and healing. All right, that's kind of cool. All right, how does zero balancing touch work to achieve these benefits? Okay, I'm curious. I want to know. All right, so zero balancing touch works by calming the nervous system, specifically stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system to counteract the effects of stress hormones like cortisol. This helps reduce muscular tension, anxiety, and immune system depletion. So zero balancing touch also focuses on rebalancing areas of tension within the body's structure, freeing up energy flow and allowing for a release of deeply held patterns of tension, including those related to trauma. Okay, so I'm going to say this is totally different from the MYK system, because the MYK system, number one, I'm the one who came up with the MYK system, and I took it all from anatomy and physiology books. So everything that we do in our work, you can trace from a nerve down. We're getting into the brain, and we're going to be able to trace it from the brain down and up, and for all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really cool stuff, but it's all geared and just grounded in anatomy and physiology, which I particularly like. So with our information, we go along one nerve pathway. So we're not treating an area or anything like that. But I do say that we are calming the nervous system. So from that standpoint, I would say that's a similar effect that we're trying to get. We can calm the nervous system, just in general terms. We can calm the nervous system because if somebody's has their posture is out, that's causing a stress to the body, and the body senses that stress. Well, if we can release that and we can balance the posture, it brings that, it calms the nervous system back down. It doesn't have that stress, and it doesn't have that information flowing up and down that there's a problem. And so people feel better, they move better, things like that. Okay, what should I expect during a typical zero balancing session? So zero balancing sessions typically last 30 to 45 minutes. MYK system, about 15 minutes. Really, it's anywhere from 3 to 15 minutes, depending on the nerve level that you're treating. Here's the part I do like. You remain fully clothed. You remain fully clothed, both with zero balancing and with the MYK system. So I like that part of it. Now, with zero balancing, you're going to lie on your back on a massage table. With the MYK system, if it's an upper body, typically we're going to do it in a chair. If it's a lower body, we're going to do it on a table. We can do it in a chair. And so, I mean, you can alter this in any way. I've treated people standing up and laying down and, all that kind of stuff. So now with zero balancing, the practitioner will use gentle, focused touch to evaluate and balance key areas, starting with the lower body and then moving to the upper body. Each session is tailored to your individual needs and may vary in its specific approach. Now, I'm wondering if it has the same 10 protocol, the 10 session protocol like Ida Rolf did, like in Rolfing. So it may be a pretty good offshoot of Rolfing, because that's kind of how it sounds, is each session. They don't go into detail on what the sessions are. So if you've had a zero balancing, or if you have learned zero balancing, I would love to know, is it a 10 session protocol, kind of like Rolfing is? And then he just does his things a little bit differently there. Now, anyone can start with a 25-hour foundational zero balancing course. Becoming a fully certified practitioner typically involves 2 to 3 years of training through a local zero balancing association. Existing therapists often find that studying zero balancing enhances their skills and provides a more holistic approach to their practice. With the myokinesthetic system, we have a 20-hour upper body course, a 20-hour lower body course, and a 40-hour autonomic nervous system course. I am putting together a whole bunch of information for the brain, and I don't know if it's going to stay in that third course or if it's going to become a fourth course. So we're going to find out just how in-depth it gets. So what is zero balancing? Hopefully we can answer here. Let's see. Zero balancing is a bodywork technique, nice, that aims to release deep tension in bones, joints, and soft tissue to promote a sense of balance and well-being. During a session, a practitioner evaluates and balances key areas throughout the body while the client is fully clothed. So what can you expect? 30 to 45 minutes of a treatment. The practitioner will start by listening to the client's goals. So now this gets into similar to what Heller's work was like, because he got into that aspect. He wanted to get into the emotional component maybe a little bit. And then they proceed with the evaluation and balancing. So the session begins with the client sitting and then transitions to lying face up, fully clothed. Afterwards, clients often report feeling lighter, freer, more energized, and more connected to themselves. With the myokinesthetic system, everybody stays clothed. If it's an upper body, we're in a seated position. People stand up. A lot of times they can move their shoulders that they couldn't move just 10 or 15 minutes before. Their pain level usually drops. What I always say is, if I can drop the pain level in half, I know I'm on the right nerve level. And so some people will drop from an 8 to a 2. I'm like, cool, we're doing the right thing. It may take 2 or 3 treatments, but we're going to get there. Same thing with range of motion. So if we do a treatment and somebody comes in, their range of motion is only about 30 degrees if they're lifting their shoulder, and all of a sudden after the treatment they're up, over 90 degrees. That's a big change in one treatment, and that tells me, okay, we're on the right path here. So we're doing a good job. It can take, a number of treatments, but we can get there. Normally, I would say with the myokinesthetic system, most people get out of pain, I would say within, 2 to 3 treatments and maybe 2 to 4 treatments. People are pretty much out of pain. A lot of people, in the first treatment, but 2 to 4, I would say is pretty average. Then we're getting into increasing range of motion. That may be another, couple of treatments. And then we want to stabilize, and we want to make sure you don't revert back to where you were. And so we gotta keep doing some treatments, but we start spacing you out with those treatments. And I would say normally, 11 treatments or so is pretty average for the typical MYK patient or client that they receive. Okay. Key themes and ideas. So zero balancing is described as a profound tool in support of wellness and personal transformation. So they're doing more than just working on the pain. They're doing more than just, getting the muscles loose and getting everything moving properly. So they're getting into some of this other aspect, get into the mental side of it. And it says it addresses the whole body and mind. So because zero balancing addresses the whole body and the mind, this healing system does not depend on a specific complaint. Oh, so you don't have to go in. You could go in and say, I feel great, and I just want to feel better. I want to work better. I want to think clearer. That'd be kind of cool. So that may be a nice thing. Zero balancing touch is a unique form of skilled touch based on structural acupressure, grounded in precise technique and anatomical detail. So zero balancing touch aims to rebalance areas of tension in the body. Okay, so he did get into the acupuncture and the acupressure areas, and so that's good to know as well. So maybe it is going along some of these acupuncture points to try and relieve tension and all that kind of stuff. Zero balancing is believed to calm the nervous system by stimulating the parasympathetic response. It calms you from the inside out. Good. It may also stimulate delta and theta brain wave patterns. Okay. Trauma and tension release. So it aims to release deep patterns of tension held within the skeleton, which may manifest as physical, emotional, or spiritual imbalances. Long-held trauma and negative emotions can be expressed in the body as deep patterns of tension in our skeleton. Okay, so they're getting into, like I said, the emotional component. If you've heard any of my talks, I don't like getting in on the emotional component. Watch, one day I'm going to come out and be like, it's the best thing ever. But right now, I don't think so. I don't like getting in on that part of it. So, let's see. I think they train pretty much anybody in healthcare. So you can pretty much train. Fritz, he passed away because I was like, he was born in 1929. Born in 1929. I'm like, okay, well, when did this guy pass away? He just passed away in May of 24. I mean, he just recently, he just passed away. So right before his 95th birthday, they said. So that's pretty cool. But sad for me because I would love to get in and start interviewing some of these people and get to know some of the insight on some of this. So now so let me say some of this information I got from the ZeroBalancing Touch. It's called zbtouch.org website, and I'll put the link in the comments below or in the notes below. And that is more Fritz's website. And then there was another one. It was ZeroBalancing, and let me see if I have it. ZeroBalancing Health Association. And that's ZeroBalancing.com. But I got some of the information from them as well. And so they said that Fritz wanted them to continue on with, doing his work and that kind of stuff. And so I'm just looking through so I took information from both websites so I could try and get in. A lot of this is repeated the exact same thing. So that's kind of the same. I've already said that. They feel lighter, 30 to 45 minutes. Yeah, it's all pretty much the same. So they don't really do anything too much different. Now, with the myokinesthetic system, so we're approved in 5 different professions. It's in the notes below, the 5 professions that we typically teach. For example, the lower body class. So I always do the lower body class. So we cover about 59 muscles, 29 nerve pathways and branches. We evaluate 92 different symptoms, conditions, and postural imbalances. And we narrow everything down into 7 nerve root treatments using 25 different movements for that. And so that's just to give you an example of the lower body course and some of the things. So if we do a comparison, so it says the primary focus for the myokinesthetic system is relieving pain and restoring mobility through targeted muscle and nerve manipulation. And ZeroBalancing is energy and structure for overall well-being. Technique, hands-on muscle manipulation with ZeroBalancing. It's gentle touch. It addresses energy and skeletal structure. Treatment times with the myokinesthetic system, short, very rapid results, usually within minutes. With ZeroBalancing, 30 to 45 minutes. We offer CEUs for the specific professions. It just says training and certification. I'm sure they offer CEUs, though. I'm sure they do. So key concepts. We try and balance the nervous system through the anatomy and all that. They get into energy flow, skeletal structure, holistic wellness, things like that. So both myokinesthetic and ZeroBalancing offer distinct approaches to addressing pain and mobility. MYK emphasizes a more targeted, anatomical, and potentially faster acting approach, while ZeroBalancing takes a broader, energy-based, holistic perspective. And so it really depends on, what you're looking for, what kind of work you want to get in and do. So that is, I'm trying to go through and see if there's anything else that pops up here. Not really. So pretty good, but I would say 2 totally different techniques. The similarities is neither one of us use oils and creams, and neither one of us have the patient get undressed. I like that component of it. So we can work through the clothes and all that. But all the other stuff as far as how we're going about it, what we're trying to influence, things we're trying to change, all of that is really different. But the main approach is how we're going about it. So there seems to be a little bit, it did say lighter touch though, right? It said lighter touch. And so that would be opposite of Ida, because Ida is deep, she gets in there. And so that's good. So he does a little bit lighter work. So I would be interested. I would like to try this out. So if you've had it done, put some, let me know in the comments. Let me know if it was good, bad, indifferent, and if it was deep work or not deep work, and if it was 10 sessions or not 10 sessions. So if it was similar to Ida's work or if it was something totally different, he just took some of the concepts or something from it. So All right, that was our 25th episode. And if you made it this far, smile.